Hello and welcome back to Sonic Unleashed, and in this episode we'll be continuing on with the Werehog missions for Apatos. We are attempting to find our good friend Tails the Fox, but unfortunately for us, he is, somewhere in the outer regions of Apatos. Now, one thing that, this is one thing that was a problem that I had during the recording. I had a lot of problems with my emulator just deciding to crash during the Werehog levels. So I ended up playing the Werehog levels usually 2 or more times each, and hence why I get S ranks in most of them.
Yeah, you were telling me. It's all coming back to me now that this has become quite the little epoch.
I do actually like how Apatos looks, to be perfectly honest. I mean, I know it's supposed to be, a Greek city state, or the remnants of a Greek city state, and it pulls that off relatively well.
Sonic games have done that for quite a long time, as early as Marble Zone, some might argue. Marble Garden Zone really sold the whole, like, Greek or Roman, ancient stone abandoned city look.
Of course, these Greco-Roman people apparently worshipped puppet dogs, thereby making them significantly better than the Egyptians, who worshipped cats for some reason.
Dogs. Were-dogs. And sometimes they just gotta put on their dancing shoes and say, it's time to hit the dance floor.
But yeah, trying to fight these wasps without throwing boxes at them is is usually a waste of time.
It's a goddamn waste of your time, and you're better off just finding those boxes. There's 3 of them.
Oh, look, a trap room.
I see what you did there. Because trap is a genre of music.
No. Well, it is, but it was in fact a trapped room, so... And... there, got the item. Although its marker wasn't actually on screen. But, alright, so Cloud, from what you've seen so far, what would your biggest complaints about the Werehog actually be?
The Werehog stages or the Werehog character?
The Werehog
I
itself.
suppose are analogous are synonymous. Well, the environments are kind of plain. I know it's a lot of textures that could use a little more color, which I suppose would be mitigated in the mock segments where you only have literally like 1.5 seconds to get a good look at anything. Breakable environments. I don't know. The game overall looks. It looks like it was rushed a little bit, honestly. It looks like they could have taken a little more time putting some polish to this place. And again, the Werehog stages allow you to move slow enough where you can kind of start to notice these kinds of nondescript looking statues that might be dogs if only they didn't look so cat-like.
No, they're dogs. They're clearly dogs. They have the skeletal structure of canines as opposed to felines. Longer snout, flatter head, floppier ears.
Yeah, time to punch.
Now, this particular segment was one that crashed on me at least twice while I was attempting to go through it, and I gotta say that I definitely need to update my rig, but updating my rig would not have affected how much crashing I was going through, because a majority of the crashes were due to the fact that I couldn't actually find decent. Well, not decent. I do end up finding one particular set of graphics plugin settings that I use for the rest of the run, and they do work, but they don't work all the time. They just work most of the time. And this is where I learned that I can just run through breakable objects like that.
Yeah.
Very nice for me. But yeah, once you know what you're doing, the Werehog levels are not honestly all that bad. They're still lengthy, and there's a bit too much combat in them. But you know, we were 12 short of getting the S rank there. 12 force short. Needed to break more things.
Look amused.
And we got the Werewolf.
The Werewolf. Acquisition. Yep. That's English.
And another new mission. That, I believe, is the tutorial mission for Unleashed mode. That we do not end up doing.
Big man has big plan. We are going to beat up little boy Fox.
No, we're not.
Well, that was easy.
Yeah, and then
so Tails was never in any real danger.
Indeed. I'm rather certain that in the HD version, that is your first mini-boss fight.
What are you doing out here?
Sonic, you're right, because what happened to them? Did they fight? Did they flee?
Oh, no, Sonic took them out off-screen.
What happened? You know me. Never a dull moment.
Want some chocolate?
I would like some chocolate chip.
Thanks.
See? There's nothing dull about chocolate.
That's some story. I'll bet that means that you turning into that and the planet breaking apart are somehow related.
Indeed they
I
are.
need to find Eggman and make him fix this, and fast.
About that.
Because I'm not so crazy about playing as a werehog, to be perfectly honest.
Really?
Professor Pickle over at Spagonia University.
Professor Pickle.
If we add that to his research findings, we might be
Professor Pickle and his assistant Donna Dickle.
Spagonia. That's a continent over. An easy jog if the planet weren't broken.
No problem. My Tornado 1 will get us there in a flash. Let's get going.
Leave it to you, Tails. Let's get moving.
And here we have the Tornado 1. Which, according to that stamp, is actually... Nope, I can't read it from here. Oh well.
And so our little friendship was blown off of the wing shortly after takeoff into a crevice 50 feet below. He did not survive.
Except he can fly, so... And now we can select Spagonia.
Next on Dinosaur Planet. Suddenly, I feel like I'm playing Mario Party.
Which one?
Mario Party 5.
Okay.
Mario Party 4, Mario Party 5, yeah. Is my... What? What?
She doesn't know how to say laboratory.
I'm not yet privy to the particularities of your characters, excuse me. Oh, the laboratory!
And he has directed us to the Pickle Lab. Hi, Tails.
Duh, I feel like giving Tails a big old hug.
Professor Pickle's been kidnapped?
It was a little bit before the tremors hit. This old man showed up with a whole pack of robots. They carried poor Professor Pickle off, lab data and all.
It can't
And they knocked over all of his shit.
Sure sounds like Eggman.
What a horrible thing to do. We've got to go help that professor guy out, and fast. If he got kidnapped that long ago, he's got to be real hungry by now.
Poor Chip. His joke is entirely based around
I don't know how
food.
long I would last. I'd rather be dead.
Like so.
See? I'm dead. We call that terror.
Him, even he's not that cruel.
Okay. Let's go and find the professor.
Just as soon as we've reincarnated, Ready, everybody? That's it, Sonic.
All right, and now we can go to Missouri.
Missouri?
Yes, Missouri.
Oh, Missouri.
It's the Africa continent, mind you. Missouri for the
it's a
PS2 and Wii
homophone.
version is limited specifically to just this one boss fight.
Oh, that was good.
Well, and this hub.
All right, so where is the game here? The first game is you have to select where it is you want to check. All of them say new. So which one do you pick first?
Now
All right, we've
you
eliminated
actually
two
need
of
to
them.
check all of them here in order for the event to trigger.
Check two more. They're not here. What's the deal, man? There's only one left. Yeah, Chip. They call that a
The
curfew.
mysterious hole. Oh, hi, Professor Pickle.
What are you doing in my secret safe zone laboratory?
Professor?
What?
Hello?
How dare they call this culinary concoction food? Look here, do you see this sorry excuse for a sandwich? The bread should be no less.
There are no pickles on it.
One tablespoon
I
of
love
mayonnaise
pickles.
and a pinch of black pepper. The contents: fresh cucumber, sliced thinly, if you please. Am I quite right, Tails?
I know I learned something here today.
Professor, it's good to see
I
you
do
home.
not like mayonnaise pretty much on anything, so
The menu is hardly worth
Mayonnaise
the trip,
is-
if you ask
yeah.
me.
No, Professor. We came here
The
to
only
rescue
reason why
you.
they add mayonnaise to anything is because it goes good with the other ingredients. It in itself is not all that great.
Right then, first things first. It's about time someone taught the chef here how to make a proper sandwich.
You can file a complaint later, Professor.
Now, how do we solve this, boys and girls?
Shows up.
Oh, yes, quite. But let us be sure to collect the contents of that vault before departing.
sure thing, Atem. Whoosh!
Stretchy punch. Oh,
Ah, thank you. Those documents are our only hope for surviving this crisis. Let's go. There's no time to lose. I'm
Waddle,
half
waddle,
starved
waddle,
after
waddle,
being
waddle.
fed nothing but those terrible sandwiches.
there's no time to lose.
some
I better
chocolate,
put on
Professor?
my jogging shoes.
My. Don't mind if I do.
I have a listing in the Guinness Book of World Records for droopiest eyebrows.
Documents are known as the Gaia manuscripts. They tell the legend of a disaster that befell our planet some tens of thousands of years ago.
Or 2 years ago, if you're keeping up with the timeline.
Quite. And according to the
Eh.
Gaia manuscripts, this isn't the first time the planet has been
They
broken
made a
apart
timeline for
into
Legend of
pieces.
Zelda. I think it's about time they made a timeline for Sonic the Hedgehog.
The cause lies at the very core of the planet. All the phenomena we've witnessed are the direct
This is the
result
kind of story
war
that
control.
only a sip of
The
tea could help me
hyper-energy
elucidate
organism
on.
spawned at the planet's core, Dark Gaia.
So how do we stop
Yay.
this?
But what
Doctor?
kind of plan would revolve around the evil hero Dark Gaia, Mr.
Dark Gaia
Cloud?
has yet to be fully reborn.
Huh.
We
The
most
eve
likely
of
have
the Dark
marked
Gaia,
our
that was
premature
a
wake-up
great
call.
cataclysm, ripped apart,
If
the
we
Dark
act
Lord,
now, we
and
may
all
be able
some
to
such or
restore the
other.
planet by returning power to the Chaos Emeralds. Sonic, you must travel to each of the temples listed in the Gaia manuscripts. The planet's power will restore the Chaos Emeralds, and in turn,
You must see the
Chaos
remaining
Emeralds will
5
restore the
sages
planet
and collect their Chuck E. Cheese tokens. Only then can you approach the Dark Redemption counter. The
And then
evil
you'll be able to
king.
get a sticky hand, that wear off after about half an hour. And in the next part, we'll go into our first boss fight here in Missouri.